Let's go to Tyler Polumbus at CU. Give us what you got there, Tyler. I know Shedeur. I'm now seeing highlights on Twitter, by the way, of Shedeur throwing. So what'd you see out there?
Well, boys, we just wrapped up. I got to tell you, I mean, the amount of scouts that are here, I mean, it felt like well over 100, more than that. George Payton was here, by the way. Um, and Shedeur was slinging, flat out slinging. Look, man, I mean, I don't know what you expect out of these pro days. Of course they're going to look good. He's got his guys. They got their script. They know what
Right.
they're doing. Uh, I counted 5 balls that did hit the ground. Uh, two of
Okay.
those were
Okay.
two of those were legitimate drops. One of them he overthrew on a 75-yard throw by maybe 2 yards. And then I think there were 2 passes that he wants back. There were 2 passes down there in the red zone that he overthrew, threw it out of bounds, didn't give the receiver a chance to catch it. But I mean, he was slinging, absolutely slinging the rock out there. It really could not have got anything.
Did Travis Hunter show up like you heard he might?
Yes, Travis Hunter did show up. The small thing here, okay? I'm not trying to pull a D-Mac and be like, wow, Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter, I think he made a small little statement here, okay? And it's a tiny little thing. But the only dude not wearing gloves, okay? In today's day and age, Travis Hunter goes out there not wearing gloves for the pro day, you know? He was as lackadaisical. I mean, not lackadaisical, that's the wrong term. But he was as nerve-free as you could possibly get. He's dancing the whole time. He's having fun. He's laughing. He's dapping people up. He's running over to Deion Sanders after he catches the ball. He's throwing balls to Shiloh. He was just out there having fun. He was having the time of his life. And I really do think, I mean, these gloves, they're literally sticking, you know? And
Yep.
he's the only dude that goes out there. And in a game, he does wear gloves for the record. He goes out there, hey, it's just another day. Let's go catch some passes.
Did Shedeur throw 60 or so passes? That's in general what gets done at pro days. Was it something like that?
Yeah, that sounds about right. And I got to tell you, man, it is fast-paced. It's really fast-paced. I could see how quarterbacks get worn out. He did not get worn out at all. I would say there were at least 6, maybe 7 deep balls that were between 60 and 75 yards. And he connected on all but one of them. There was one that was a legitimate 75-yard throw, hit it on the button. Will Shepard dropped one deep ball earlier that I do not put on Shedeur. He dropped it. And then Will caught a 75-yarder a little bit later. I mean, look, I don't know what the arm strength issues are. I don't get it. He does throw a few wobblers. I'm not going to lie. You know, there were definitely a handful of throws. They were not a tight spiral. But I think every quarterback does that to some degree at some point.
Did they that the wobble didn't hurt Peyton Manning at all, did it?
Oh, that's a fact. Yeah, and you know, it's not like the wobblers that Peyton was throwing in his final year. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, you know, there's a handful of throws that were not perfect spirals, but you know where they ended up, where they were supposed to go.
Shiloh Sanders was promised a brand new car from his dad if he ran a 4.4. From what I'm reading, Tyler, it was a 4.52 and a 4.59. So I guess he came up a little short of getting the free car. What can you tell us about Shiloh's day?
Well, first off, it's the 4.52. Keep in mind, that's some dude from CU with a watch, okay? That's some dude from CU with a watch.
Oh, you're not buying that.
Here.
Okay.
No.
Right.
I'm just saying all I'm saying is there's a huge variation. I don't know if you guys can see that scoreboard up there.
Yeah.
But every time the guys would run, they would put the time up there. That's not an NFL time. That's not from the scouts. That's just some dude with a watch that is putting it up there. So the 4.52, the 4.59, that's what you got from those guys. Look, you could have a variation of 0.4, 0.5, even from NFL scouts. When you're doing the handheld, it's a huge variation. I would actually say he should be very pleased with the way he ran. A 4.52, look, it's not a 4.4, but that's pretty legit.
And especially for a safety, right? I mean, that's
Right.
still pretty good closing speed. What have we heard? Because we spent so much time on Shedeur and Hunter and all that stuff like that. What are scouts saying about Shiloh? Is he a low draft pick? Is he undrafted, college free agent guy? Where do you see him?
Yeah, I mean, I would guess he's going to be an undrafted guy, quite frankly. Uh, Maybe because he's a Sanders, somebody drafts him in the 7th round, 6th round, something like that. He's going to be fighting it out to make a roster, and it's not going to be easy for him. But he'll get into camp. He's not going to have a hard time getting invited to training camp. That'll happen in a heartbeat, and I'm sure there's going to be many teams that will offer him an invite to come in as an undrafted player. So, Dan and I were talking about it. Who goes next and where after Travis and Shedeur? And I think Jimmy Horn's probably the next man off the board.
Okay.
And I think depending on how much teams value his speed, I'd say maybe on the high end, 4th rounder, fourth, 5th round, something like that. And then Will Shepherd is kind of the wild card here. When Deion spoke, first off, it was really hard to hear him. We're in this giant building. There's a million things going on, so you can barely hear him. But I did hear him pretty clearly. He was flat out ticked off Will Shepherd didn't get invited to the combine, and I don't get it. I mean, how does a dude with that size? He jumped 40 and a half inches, boys. Jumped 40 and a half inches, ran in the 4.5s. I mean, he's as legitimate of an NFL prospect as you get.
I'm seeing some fun things here on Twitter. I'm seeing Jimmy Horn caught a deep pass, sort of dove, gets back up and does a backflip. Okay. I'm seeing Shedeur on kind of just a short little dump-off pass, threw the ball actually behind his back, just a few yards, maybe just to show off. I don't know. I mean, that's kind of a Patrick Mahomes type of thing, right?
Just to be clear, that had to have been during warm-ups. I didn't see – Dan, did you see behind the back pass from Shedeur? No. That had to have been during warm-ups.
During warm-ups? Okay. All right. Well, yeah. I don't know. I'm just flipping through here at Twitter, so I'm sure you're right. All right, so it was a good day.
You know what they did? And I haven't been to a lot of pro days here since I played. But I've been to just 2 or 3 really since I played. And there was something different today that I've never seen before. Maybe this is standard practice. But after Shedeur was done throwing, they do the deep balls, they do all the dump offs, they kind of march up the field, then they do the red zone. After they were done with the red zone, they moved it way back again. And you know what they did? They actually did a 2-minute drill. So they brought out all the wide receivers that were out there. So they had Will, LeJohntay, Jimmy Horn, and Travis Hunter all out there, and they ran a 2-minute drill. It's on air. And of course, it was executed flawlessly. It was executed perfect. I haven't seen that. Maybe that's standard practice, but that seems something new to me at least.
Did we see any of the NFL Network or ESPN or any of those people there? Did you see Leggy there?
Leggy's here. Yep, Leggy's here. NFL Network's here. ESPN's here. Absolutely everybody is here. I'm telling you, I've never seen anything like this. Just talking with a couple scouts that I know from different teams, and I asked them if there was any other pro day that looked like this. I said, no, this is by far the best attended that they've seen.
Wow, cool. What was Prime's role? What was he doing during all this, Tyler?
He didn't really have a role. He was hanging out. He was chatting. By the time Shedeur got up there and he was throwing, he was hanging out in the end zone and he was just watching, and Shiloh was standing there with him. But he wasn't directing. He wasn't a traffic cop out there. He wasn't doing anything. He was just here observing.
So I wonder if some of the NFL people, it's really kind of fun. They when you ask for interviews, because we've done this right over on the radio side or even the TV side, you ask for interviews, and one of them goes, "Yeah, we'd like to have Shedeur, but if we can't, Deion's fine." Well, if we can't get Shedeur, Deion's fine. Yeah, sure. If you got to bring, okay, we'll take him. That's fine.
Yeah, exactly. I'll tell you guys a funny story. When I got here, bright and early, Shiloh there was only about 2 players that were out here hanging out in the indoor facility when I got here. And there were definitely scouts out there. And I'm 90% certain that Shiloh thought I was a scout. he's got to making his rounds and saying hello as many people as he can wisely because he knows that he's got his work cut out for him. And he kind of came over. He kind of came over to me and was talking to me for not a long time, 45 seconds, a minute or two. And then
the PR staff said no.
No, and
don't worry about that guy.
When they realized I wasn't a scout, he moved on to someone else.
Yeah.
You know what you did? You should have worn your Bronco or your Washington Commander shirts or something like that, and come in like that. Or at the very least, should have worn your CU letter jacket.
Well, I do have my CU hat on, so which I know is like that's not cool for media to do something like that, But I don't qualify. I'm alumni. I get to wear my CU gear.
Tyler, how can you tell who's not CU media and who is CU media with everybody up there? Are you kidding me? It's the most friendly media of all time when it comes to CU. You're fine. Yeah. Trust me, that's not a big deal.
Well, you definitely know the team media because they get to go anywhere they want. The rest of us slappies, we're behind a rope.
All right. Well, great job today. Any other sort of, before we just let you go? And by the way, if Tyler, if you want, man, we've got 37 degrees and snow here. If you want to just bolt down there from Boulder to the Chop House.
Hey, I was very happy to be up here at the CU Pro Day.
All right.
Hey, well, Tyler, there's planes up there too. It's 70 and sunny here in San Francisco.
There you go. Perfect.
All right, but last final thoughts here, because I guess it's done, right? Is there anything else, or is that really it? Are we done?
It's completely wrapped up. We got scouts talking to scouts. We got some guys that have moved upstairs, but it's a wrap at this point.
All right,
go hand your phone to Deion. Hand your phone to Deion. See if he'll come on for a second.
Well, yeah, we'll do. Just give me a second.
Okay.
Any final thoughts and observations about today?
No, that's it. I think that of the guys that had the most to prove, Will Shepard couldn't have done any better. So I think he's going to be drafted. I'd be surprised. For a guy that doesn't make it to the combine, I'd be shocked if he doesn't get drafted. I'll be curious to see what the other reports are out there from Shedeur's day. My opinion, he slung that rock, baby. I mean, he slung that thing. And, despite maybe 2 throws that he would like to have back, I mean, the deep balls were phenomenal. He didn't do the typical pro day thing of do the rollout to the left, could throw cross body all the way to the right, 70 yards. We didn't have one of those. But the deep throws, they were on the money. They were perfect. I don't really get the arm strength concerns.
All right. Well, great job, you and Dan Tanner. I assume Dan did all right today, Tyler?
Dan kicked butt, actually. He got a boatload of phenomenal video and photos.
All right. Right on. And we'll post all of that. You'll see that all soon enough. And awesome job top to bottom. And I'm glad you're up there. It's a historic day for CU Pro Days. There will never be anything else like it. Probably. I mean, I cannot even imagine a situation that CU will have anything close to this. And that's not even
wait a couple of years. I'm talking to some people about Juju Lewis, and they are just raving about this young man. I mean, coming in as a high school kid, everything I just keep hearing, he's different.
Okay. Would love to see it. Absolutely love to see it as the CU football resurgence in their program is clearly back on center stage where it deserves to be, man. Do you feel proud, just on a personal note? Do you feel a little pride here being a Buff and that all this attention is here when there were so many dark days?
It's fun. It is fun. There's a bunch of current players here, and getting to chat with them, and when they learned I'm alumni, and the respect that they had for me, and I'm like, hey man, you guys are the ones bringing us back from the grave here. So
that's awesome.
This is something I never could have envisioned. It's a blast, the whole thing.